Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirusho here. Now then, took a bit longer than I wanted to, but I got everything numbered and I rolled the dice. I rolled them and assigned a number, and it is quite surprising. I thought the list would be more random. I actually kept hitting 20, which kept surprising me. Although distinguishing between a 6 and a 9 was a bit hard because they're right next to each other on the dice. It's pretty annoying. So, now, let us continue. When we last left off, Deku and Intelli, they had just started working on her new gadgets. In fact, she finds these to be actually very cool and very neat, but Deku's telling her that she should not just try and rely on them, because even technology can be faulty. In fact, she should try relying a bit more on her physical power, because she may actually need to. Otherwise, if one of those fails, she can completely lose in any situation. Now then, after saying this is when Deku, he would help her create a bit more things, and he actually even had an idea. Since nowadays, even quirkless people, they're very tough, it would probably be a good idea to also have something against people with a hardening quirk. So like not a regular grenade, but at least something that's very useful. Like sticky foam or something. Basically like a capture tool. Basically, he would help her create these, and they're a bit bulky at this point, but they're still around the size of a baseball. So, this would be going on for the next couple weeks until people start noticing that Deku and Sayako are actually always talking. If not, Sayako is at least always drinking tea and always writing in a notebook. Along with Deku actually somewhat helping her, improving upon and actually telling her some things she could actually do. Now, because of that, Deku, he would eventually find that he can create a special mix of teas. Basically, it's a perfect balance since her quirk reacts differently to tea. Basically, I want to say like black tea, it could make you more knowledgeable about music or something like that, and jasmine tea or green tea could make you knowledgeable about instruments, or not instruments, but like basically different types of things. Since it is said that her quirk reacts and actually changes somewhat on how whatever type of tea she drinks. Basically meaning that she can improve in different areas. But they might be similar areas. So, let us continue. Deku, he is actually just thinking about this, and he would eventually come to this perfect mix. In fact, I will find 3 teas that essentially I can basically put in, as they can help you with certain parts of the brain, which help with creativity and actual ingenuity. Basically, help find out which ones help her the most. Now then, let's continue. Deku would eventually help her create all these types of things, along with something specific against Todoroki. Because he would have said that if they were ever to go into UA, he has actually seen something. In fact, if they were to go to UA, he knows that they do also live there. They do broadcast their sports festival. So, it'd be a good idea to watch those and actually see what type of quirks people have, since they can see the current Class 1A. Now, They would actually do this, and they would actually find that, let's see, they're 10 years old. Actually, no, they're 11 years old in this. What if I did age them up for that 1 year party? Let's see, 11. Okay, yeah, that works. Anyways, they would see that essentially the different types of people's quirks. Let's say there's a guy with a stretchy arm quirk. There's someone with a sword quirk where they can summon swords. And there's even the most dangerous opponent of all, someone who can summon steamrollers. I'm joking, but knowing My Hero Academia, we'll see a hero like that one day. Heck, we already have a guy who can basically turn his own body into mush. It's weird still. Anyways, you also have a hero who, let's say there was at least someone with a fire quirk. Let's say that just thinking about it, Deku could see many different ways to take him down, as some of his physical skills are lacking, but his quirk is actually quite strong. So, he's thinking that essentially with that fire quirk, that sticky stuff might work, but he could probably burn it. So, they might have to add different types of things to the mix. Along with Deku actually wondering, and actually asking her if she knows the difference between certain chemicals, as long as getting his mom and dad involved in this. She's Inko, let's just say she has a bit of a more knowledge on mixing different chemicals and components for explosives. That will come up later. And Sebastian actually knows quite a bit of science. So with their strange mix of combinations, they would be able to create the eventual cold grenade. Whenever they do try this out, they actually find that the first prototype, it does work, it's just not very efficient. So the problem is just making it more efficient. So they would actually work on this for the next month, considering it's a very big project. And let's say that at lunchtime at school one day, Deku is actually working on this, and people are seeing him mess with this little ball. As Sayako is actually eating and taking down more notes, people are seeing how intensely they are working, if not always working together. And eventually, I want to say after one day, Momo would walk up, and she would see them doing this, actually tapping on Deku's shoulder, asking him, what are you guys doing? Oh, Miss Momo, I believe. Yes, that's my name. You see, we are quite simply making Miss Sayako here. Just call me Intelli. I'm making Intelli, not very butler-like, but okay. I'm making Intelli and helping her improve on her different types of hero gear. Oh, really? As Momo would sit down, she sees quite a bit of these things, asking, wait, so you guys have been making this stuff? Well, yes, actually. My mother actually does help, along with my father, but he's more focused on cleaning and all that stuff. So he usually just likes to help pick up afterwards. Well, I do understand that, but I'm learning how to create different types of matter, so I could actually probably help you guys. Oh, really? Well, yeah, but I do need a favor in return. Oh, really? What is it? Well, it's just, how are you so fast and strong? Oh, well, yes, you see, those are part of my quirk, but I do like to train it. Which is Deku just lying through his teeth. So, as Momo actually stands up, she would say that she would really like it if he could actually help train her for whenever she does go to UA. Because she thinks with her quirk she may never get a recommendation. Deku would just say that that is fine, and in fact he has been actually trying to train Miss Intelli, Sayako, or Misako. Intelli, you know what I mean. Those are confusing sometimes. Now, it would get to the point where Deku, he actually is able to train both of these two properly. And I want to say Deku would actually get to where Momo has actually been able to help them along with Meet Inko. And she's kind of surprised because she's basically a badass, one-eyed woman who has expertise in a lot of different types of explosives, firearms, and is even skilled enough to actually somewhat hold her own on a fight. As sometimes you see her training Deku with different forms of martial arts. These aren't really standardized martial arts, but you just see her showing Deku swift motions. Like, you bring your hand up, you try and aim for the base of their temple, or you try and at least swipe at their nose with your fingers. Now, if you guys don't know what I mean by temple, basically, if you were to hit someone in the temple, right by their eyes, you can basically almost not break their skull, but hurt them quite a lot. I've been hit there once, and it makes you disoriented as hell. Which, I've gotta say, lasts for quite a while. Which probably might be the reason why I'm wearing glasses. Not gonna lie. Anyways. That is going to be a different story for a different time. Now, Deku would eventually do this, and this is whenever Momo, she would say that that's pretty cool and intriguing, as she would actually say that, well, you made this for people with fire quirks, right? Maybe I can get, well, maybe we can get, that, what's his name? Are you talking about Todoroki? Yes, him. Maybe we can get him in here. Well, I mean, possibly, but we haven't really seen him a lot. I believe I've seen him around school quite a few times, but I do remember him asking me something. Oh, what did he ask you? I don't know why, but he swore he's seen me somewhere before. Okay, well, that's different. Yeah, he also did really, really want to know my quirk. Okay, why? I think he saw that video of me. Oh, you mean that one a couple years ago? Yeah. He even asked me about that video some time ago. Oh, you mean that one where we all got attacked? Yeah, that one. As all of them are working away at trying to create more of these gadgets. Momo would actually learn a bit of from Inko, actually learning how to create a gun, which she does not like. I want to say she does not like guns, but I don't know why she never uses them in the anime. Just make rubber bullets. It's that simple. Jeez. I'm pretty sure if she knew how to destroy quirks with her quirk by, like, basically making a synthetic version of Ares' blood, she could probably be unstoppable. Because that stuff would be very hard to get stable. It would probably take weeks. Anyways. Afterwards, Deku would go on saying that she just needs to calm down, as she just makes a gun by accident one day, thinking about something else but still coming back to that conclusion, where she saw Inko just having a gun float over her hand as she's actually messing with the parts. Deku would just say that, yes, the standard 9mm Beretta, able to hold, I believe, 8 in the magazine and actually 1 in the chamber. As Deku pulls the barrel back, actually putting 1 in, he would just say that this is quite a nice handgun, but for being a hero, he believes being like Mr. Snipe would not be a very good option. What do you mean, like Mr. Snipe? His quirk basically allows him to see at long range at any given target. Basically, he can see He's basically looking through a scope and seeing people highlighted. Well, that sounds pretty cool. It is, but people don't really like the way he does what he does. As Deku would actually show her how to fire the gun, she's quite surprised. As Inko would come out actually saying that, well, you are learning from the student, but now you're going to learn from the master. As she teaches Momo how to create guns, well, basically showing her the blueprints and explaining everything to where she can understand it. My nose is getting stuffy. Helping her do all of that, while Deku and Telly are actually working on a counter to the ice grenade. Actually creating the fire grenade. Basically like compacted nitroglycerin. Except whenever you ignite it, it just catches high amounts of fire. I don't think it's nitroglycerin's for explosives like Bakugo's, so hang on. Alright. Basically, with her money, she would get herself access to chloroform trifluoride, I believe that's called. It's the most flammable substance in the world. I'm not sure its ignition point, but considering one spark is enough to set gasoline on fire, that's pretty flammable. And I didn't even check the ignition point yet. So, yeah, it's probably going to be like a sensitive trigger. Anyways, Deku, he is actually thinking more on this, and he would come to the conclusion that they do need this liquid. Actually, somewhat helping Momo with her quirk while trying to find a way to buy this liquid. They would eventually get it and test it out, and Deku actually comes to the conclusion that to essentially strengthen both these grenades, they need to find the hottest and coldest substance and test them out against one another. They would eventually do this, and this would work. As she now essentially needs work on not only different things, she wants to work on a sort of gun. Which, as soon as Momo hears this, she's thinking that, so you're just going to use firearms as a weapon? What? No, no, no. As she holds up the ball that she used on Deku in the last episode, she would say that this is one of her items that she's planning on using for capturing different villains. It's actually pretty weird. She's been using it, and it's actually very cool. In fact, she even made the balls heavier so that whenever they do latch onto you, you actually get a lot. Well, you actually have a better chance of falling down. As she says this, she immediately just says that these things are essentially some of the best she has, but she still wants to work on something else. Now then, she would actually work on this gun, and it's a very big and bulky style. Except Deku would actually help her smoothen it down to about half that size. It basically goes from being around, the size of a guitar to actually being smaller than that. Somewhat like carrying a ukulele. Around the size of a ukulele. Which is the best description I can give, considering I know exactly how big a guitar is. Now, after that, they are actually starting to try and think about more opponents, more versatile quirks. You have a person with a speed quirk. Oh, that's easy. Just basically like cooking oil, pour it into a grenade, and actually make it to where that stuff can get immediately just shot in every single direction, if not into the ground. So you basically create a oil slick. Many different things. But Deku is saying that they should postpone doing that as they should begin proper training. As Deku actually goes back to his room, while these two are actually still busy tinkering, he actually changes into a regular shirt and a pair of shorts, as he comes out saying that, well, now then, today, as he brings his hands up, they are going to be working out. Momo and Antelli look up, and they see Deku. He is still wearing his gloves. Why don't you ever take those things off? Ah, yes, well, I do like them, actually. Pretty sentimental, I believe. Yeah, just don't question that, Yayorozu. Really? Yeah, you'll get used to it. No, I don't think I will. Anyways, so, as Deku would say that, she would just tell him that this is still going to somewhat be stupid. Yes, well, it might be, but training does pay off. Look at All Might, he's the #1 hero. And I still don't understand his quirk. Is it like mine? Which somewhat intrigue Intelli and Momo at the same time. Intelli, she took quite a lot of tea today, so she's actually thinking more about this. The chances of Deku and Sebastian, they have the same quirk as All Might, that's about 1 in a million, which, since Deku has already proven that the odds are always in his favor, she would bring that up to about a 50, or a 1 in 2 chance, and somewhat confusing herself. Wait, did I say Intelli? I meant Momo, my bad. It's been a very long day. Ugh. I'm starting to think I need some tea myself. Anyways, she is also starting to think more about this, as Deku is actually watching these two on the treadmill. They are still somewhat not sure why they even need to do this, as Deku goes over to the bench and he immediately just starts doing curls with his arms. Ah, ah, that hurt quite a bit. Ah, that happened again. Ooh. Punch it till it works again. That's better. Muscle cramps are not fun, everyone. Now then. Deku is essentially doing that, and he's doing this with a weight. Essentially, you get to the point where Momo and Intelli, they've both ran around a mile or two, and they would both turn around and they just see Deku just casually doing this over and over again, as he would just say that their training has only just begun, as he would instruct them to go pick up the weights and actually start working out. Which is whenever they both realize that, oh no, he's crazier than we thought. Well, Intelli is actually thinking that since her quirk is basically only mentally enhancing her brain, that at least strengthening her body will work out in the end. But Momo's thinking that this will actually somewhat work against her quirk since she needs the fat lipids in her body. Deku would just say that might be true, but I know what you're thinking. This may work against your quirk. I do know that you have a creation quirk. It's very weird and intriguing, in fact. But just know that this quirk, or this workout routine that I somewhat have planned out for you two, is not going to affect the way your quirk works. In fact, I do believe knowing things is a fundamental that you may need to master. Sebastian would walk in and he sees Deku doing this as he just says, Izuku, my boy, please start taking things a bit more seriously. As Sebastian will walk over, grab the weight from one hand, with one hand take it from Deku, setting it back, actually saying that you need to properly train. As Sebastian will quite simply say, well now, you two keep doing what you're doing, but also make sure to use this bench, start at an easy weight, and do not strain yourselves. Yes, You do have the right idea, Midoriya, but as he immediately turns around saying, you need a proper workout. As these two would both walk outside, and they're both actually working out as Natalia looks outside, and she just sees an entire line of trees fall, as they hear a loud crack. What was that? Just look out the window and tell me if I'm seeing things. Why would I need to look out the window? Huh? Okay, well, I'm pretty sure they are going to need to fix that later. Are those two? I believe they are. As Deku and Bakugo, Deku and Sebastian are training in the middle of the forest, ripping and tearing the trees apart as they are fighting one another. Now then, I'm going to be leaving this part off here, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys in the next part.